Wednesday, everybody, and welcome into the Gramlich and Mac Lane podcast presented by Ingles, the official supermarket of Gramlich and Mac Lane. Man, we were, at least me, Mac, I was struggling to get out of the gate today as my phone just slammed on the ground. As we were getting ready for this episode, I was saying things wrong. I was trying to fix my hair, but we're here. It's the hump day.
That's right.
And it's the day after Halloween. Mac, happy November.
Come on.
They remember November.
Let's go. They do remember November. I just have to check. Did you get your fill of Twizzlers, your favorite Halloween candy?
I don't appreciate the sass with which you said that to me, sir. But yes, I did. Twizzlers were popping this year at Halloween. I bought a big thing of Starburst. Okay, this is what happened. I went to Ingles to stock up on Halloween candy, but the issue was, and this is a real issue that I think most people can relate to, when you buy your Halloween candy too early, you end up eating it all. It's been a problem. Yeah. I bought a bunch for last weekend when we had friends in town, and I got to the point on Monday of this week where I had to hide the bowl from myself. From yourself?
How do you do that? You close your eyes and chuck it, and who knows
Basically,
where it goes?
I had to get it out of the kitchen where I was walking by it all the time.
Yes.
I had to put it in a different location, and I had to put it down low where I'm like, it's going to hurt my back to reach down.
Do I really want to get down to get that?
I understand. It's going to hurt my back. So let's just
not
do
see,
it.
if I do that now, Amelia will crawl to it and
That's
find
true.
it
You have that
and get
problem.
into it. So I don't know what we do. It's brutal. And I do want to add this to the Twizzlers snarky comment. I apologize, but it's true. I was on the Twitter sphere, the X sphere earlier, yesterday, I believe it was. And some people were ranking their top Halloween candies, as if they were playoff contenders, college football playoff, 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's in, who's not. I saw more Twizzlers than I'm comfortable
Come on.
with. This is unbelievable. This is a thing. We need to talk. The whole world needs to sit down and talk about this because this is bizarre.
When's the last time you had some Twizzlers?
Listen, I like Twizzlers, but only at a very specific niche place. And do you know where that is? The movie theater. That's it. That's the only time Twizzlers are appropriate.
Well, that means you need to go see the Eras Tour. But have you ever purchased the big bag of Twizzlers, generally at the grocery store at Ingles, where it's like a cherry flavor?
Do they sell that at the movie theater?
And they're thicker? No, they do not sell those at the movie theater.
You like the thick Twizzlers.
They're really good. You need to go get those. Those are a difference maker.
Sure. We'll see. You know what it's about. It's all about the Reese's. Any holiday, copy, paste, different shapes, and you're good. You're good to go.
This year I purchased the Reese's Bats. They were shaped like little bats.
And it was the greatest candy you've ever had.
Oh, they're so good. I know. Wait, before we get to Antwaun Powell-Ryland and talk a little Virginia Tech, Louisville, what was Amelia for Halloween?
Oh, she was the cutest little lamb.
Oh.
She did not like it, though. She did not like the outfit. We have this like hat piece with like the ears or whatever, and she just like instantly grabs it and tries to rip it off of her head.
Sure.
But she was adorable. She was adorable.
Well, anything that Amelia's in is going to be cute.
I already saw it, actually. I saw the family zoo trip.
Yes. We went to Boo in the Zoo. We also went trick-or-treating, so there will be pictures up. But we're the three bears. And I convinced my husband to wear an adult bear onesie, which he's thrilled about. And Jacob was a little bear cub. So, yeah.
I think I am waiting, I guess next year, because it only comes around every 12 months. When Amelia's like walking, then I'll do the family costume. I think that was kind of where
it's
I was
harder
like,
now.
Let's do it. And
I know
probably not too many costumes fitting your boy.
Yeah, he's a little large. I know at least 1 year when he's walking, he will be Jake from State Farm. We will get that going. Little baby khakis.
Next year, actually, it should just be his thing. It's just every year. That's what it should be.
He's Jake from State Farm. I just got to buy one costume. I guess I got to get bigger sizes.
Different sizes.
He's huge.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. We'll get on that. All right, Mac. Well, we need to talk a little Hokies, a little Virginia Tech. Antwaun Powell-Ryland, who is an absolute baller, who is leading the ACC in sacks, tackles for loss, fumbles forced. We talk with him, and then let's preview a little Virginia Tech Louisville. Let's get to a message from Ingles, and then we'll get into it.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have Energy Smart stores? Or that they professionally slice and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
APR, man, welcome to the podcast. We got another Hokie. We had your guy, Kyron Jones, join us a couple of weeks ago. And, man, Virginia Tech is on fire right now. This has been so much fun to watch. Just what have you seen? Just kind of start big picture from not only, the defense, but just the team these last couple of weeks, really putting together a nice stretch.
We definitely have been focusing a lot more on our jobs. So, like, for us to go out there and put it all on display out there on TV is great for us. I feel like the things that we have been doing, we could have definitely been doing earlier, but now that we're doing it, that's great.
Antwaun, I saw, I know you're a transfer from Florida, and I saw on your Instagram before the season even started, you were talking about just how excited you were to be able to run out to Enter Sandman and experience that. So you grew up in Virginia. Did you grow up a Hokie fan? I know you went to Florida, came back, but tell me more about that decision and why being a Hokie means so much to you.
I wouldn't say I grew up a Hokie fan, because I didn't really have a team in college, but of course I looked into Virginia Tech, and we always, Michael Vick, you got talking about Michael Vick. So of course I watched them play a lot. So it's actually great. I never would have thought that watching those games now, looking where I'm at now, I would have never thought I'd be here. It's definitely a great feeling being able to be in the shoes that I was looking at the other guys when I was looking. It's definitely a dream come true.
Mac has told me he got the chance to run out to Enter Sandman, I think with Eddie Royal a couple weeks ago. And of course, Mac's washed up. Look, he's old. He's not playing anymore. So it's
I
kind of
hobbled
funny.
out. I don't know if I ran out. I yogged out of that thing.
Yeah, exactly. But explain to us normal people here, Antwaun, what is it like to run out to Enter Sandman when the Hokie fans are losing their minds?
So when it starts, we're already walking to the tunnel. So once the beat played, it's like, oh man. So we walk down the tunnel, it's a lot of they stumping and stuff. So we hear all the loud noises, they screaming, yelling. It's like once you hear it, once it starts, it's like it just puts you in that mode. It's go time. It's time to get going. So once it's time to run out there, you see all the fans, they all over the place. Then you got the band and stuff like that really doubles up as we running to get on the field, to take the field. So it's everything you want it to be.
That's amazing. That's amazing, man. I love that. And it's such it's a crazy environment and how loud. I mean, and when they cut the music and everybody's singing, it's sick, man. It's one of the best, if not the best, entrances in the entire country. And I know that's a real treat. And just the support that you guys get from them has been unbelievable. Now that you're winning, it's even more fun for everybody involved. I know that. Well, I was talking to your buddy, your rush mate. You guys met party in the backfield for a safety, which was amazing. Cole Nelson the other day. And we were just asking about the team and what it feels like and who's kind of a leader and all these different things. And he said you were a guy that, you'll talk a little bit. You'll get going. Is that a part of your game? Do you like having conversations with offensive players out on that field?
Oh, yeah, especially when it's going good for us. It's a competitive game, man. So if you see, if you feel like something's a little fishy over there, you get to talking. You get to let them know how you feel about them and stuff. It's a part of the game, though, man. That's what makes it fun for us too. Being on the field, being able to compete with other guys.
Do you do any research? Like, are you coming in this thing with ammo, or are you just a reaction type of guy? Like, I'm just whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I'm going straight reaction. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really look too much stuff up. Like when it's time to go out there, I got enough ammo for you.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot to have in your brain. You're already thinking about, your calls, what you need to be looking for, and then you also know the name of this guy's dog. Like that just seems like a lot, right? That seems like a lot. You got to focus on ball. Well, okay, so let's look at this season as a whole here, because you guys have bounced back in such a big way. You're in the discussion to get to Charlotte. You are, have turned the season around tremendously. But of course, we know Virginia Tech started 1-2. You had the Old Dominion game and then the Purdue loss, Rutgers loss. How were y'all able to stay together? How was this locker room able to stay together and turn the season around?
Really, Coach Park preached on ignoring the noise. Like it was, and then we already knew it was early in the season. Losses happen. You just take them to the chin and keep going. That's really how we felt about it. Like every loss that we had, like we just tried to learn from it. Like whatever it was that we did wrong, whether if it was a play messed up or if it was just us not doing what we were supposed to do, take it to heart. And I'm pretty sure that it shows.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any question it shows. And a big reason, for this turnaround and for this team being so exciting right now is that defense, and especially that defensive line. I'm wearing a shirt that says Blacksburg. We're changing it back to Saxburg. That's where we are right now. And you guys are having a party, man, in the backfield. What is the mindset of this defensive line, of this defense? Because you guys, I mean, you get after the quarterback, lead the ACC in sacks. You personally have had an unbelievable year. So just mindset-wise, what is it from the defense?
Mindset with the defense, like it don't matter who we play. We feel like we can dominate anybody. But what we did out there for Syracuse, I feel like we can do that every game if we put our minds to it. And it don't matter who it is. I'll say that to anybody.
Yeah.
And especially with that defense, I feel like we don't care. Like whoever's in front of us, we want to dominate them.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, man. Especially just looking at you individually in, 4 sacks against Wake Forest, 2 sacks against Syracuse. When you're in that type of mindset, that just flow of the game, what is that like? Is it like playing a video game? I mean, walk me through that.
It's like once you get going, you don't know how to stop. Like, it's like it feels so good. You don't want to stop. Like you just keep going full speed. Like it's really just me playing hard as I can.
Yeah.
Like, being able to lock in every play for 6 seconds at a time. That's really what it is.
When you were choosing Virginia Tech, and maybe this off season, this summer, when you were training and working and getting ready for the season, if I had told you you are going to lead the ACC, and this is late in the season, by the way, lead the ACC in sacks, tackles for loss, fumbles forced, be 5th nationally in sacks, what would be your reaction?
I mean, I see it coming in either way. I wouldn't have no crazy reaction. I mean, that was the plan either way. Coming in, I knew what I could do, even when it's not people rooting for me. Like I don't really care. I know who is rooting for me. So that's really the main thing. Like I mean, I plan on leading the nation by the end of the season.
Come on.
So that's just that reaction probably wouldn't do much, but turn me up even more.
I like it. Just what of it? That's what I expected, right? Well, looking forward to with this Virginia Tech team, as Max said, the defense has been the stalwart, if you will. What's it like to play for such a defensive-minded head coach, and Coach Pry?
Oh yeah, it's lovely, especially for my position. He loved pass rushes. With a defense, you need a good pass rusher. So for him to be able to put us in a good position, that's great. Because he's a defensive-minded coach. He knows what he's looking at. He knows what he's looking for with the defense. So you gotta listen to him. I mean, he has history of winning. So it don't get no better.
Yeah, and I mean, you see what he was able to do with Micah Parsons. I mean, that's got to be exciting for you to try to follow in those footsteps and rely on that. Yeah. Have you had any conversations with Micah? Have you trained with him or seen him at all because of that relationship?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at Micah anyway.
Sure.
Because, I mean, I watch everything he does either way. Because, I mean, he's arguably one of the best players on defense. So, yeah, I mean, we haven't really talked much at all for real, but I still watch him.
No doubt. We'll tell Coach Pry to make that happen. All right, tell him to get it going and train with one of those bad boys there. How about in practice, man? I'm fascinated to hear this, just because being a defensive-minded guy, if in practice, let's say the offense has a good day, and they're moving the ball, they're scoring. After practice, when y'all have that little post-practice meeting, is he just pissed and like, this was a horrible day, you guys stick, like talking to everybody, and the offense is like, well, we were doing good.
Yeah, he's definitely times like that where felt like, man, we can't let that happen. That's crazy. So coming into practice, of course he's going to be on the field, but best believe next practice we got to.
That's right.
That's so funny to me about football is one side of the field can be doing really well, and then the other side isn't,
KG,
and then
they
one
want it balanced. Those coaches want it 50-50.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yep, I know, and I know Coach Pry is always thinking defense first. Right. I'm sure. Well, let's look ahead to this big game this weekend you guys have against Louisville, at Louisville, by the way. Louisville's 15th in the country. And this is a massive game for ACC standings, for Charlotte, for all these types of things, but also just a ranked team on the road. You guys have been so good at home, and we know why. You see that atmosphere, obviously. What is it going to take for you to take some of what you've done in Lane Stadium and take it to Louisville?
We got to bring our own juice. I think if we do that and we like ignore the noise within the stadium and just play how we're supposed to play, I feel like we can definitely come out.
Yeah. What's kind of a key when you go against a great offense? Now, it's Monday for the people watching, so it's not like we've been able to dive into a ton of film quite yet on these guys in regards to game plan, but they're explosive. They've got really explosive players and very balanced. When you go against teams like that and the things that they can present, Antwaun, what is a key for you as a defender to try to slow something down? What do you look for in those games?
Really just to hone in on our jobs. Like with us for as a defense standpoint, I feel like if everyone does their job, there should be no reason why y'all should be giving up whatever it is. Yeah. Especially if it's a game plan that we like and that we plan on going into the game with, and whatever it is, I feel like if everyone does their job, we shall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we know, speaking of doing their job, I mean, Jawar Jordan has just been electric for Louisville. He seems like number one on the scout, if I'm talking in basketball terms here. Number one of you're looking at him, and he's going to be the guy that can beat you. So what have you seen from Jawar Jordan and how you guys are going to try to slow him down?
The running back, right?
Yeah.
He's definitely a good running back. I mean, really just game tackle. Everyone to the ball, all hands to the ball. Want to make it feel like there's 12 people on the field, by the way. Everybody's going all around the field with basically just game tackle. I feel like if everybody rushes to the ball and instead of just watching the play, we should definitely be able to contain his job.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That defense is swarming right now, and it's fun to watch. Last one, we'll get you out of here, man. I actually want to flip to the other side of the ball, and I mentioned Kyron Drones and just the growth that I've seen from him from our point of view and on the field and his comfortability, his swag. I mean, the way he was running that ball against Syracuse, the way he was throwing it. Obviously, you have a much more in-depth personal vantage point of his growth and this process. What have you seen from your quarterback to get you guys where you are today?
I've definitely seen him get better. And I've never really seen that from a person. Like if I'm actually just looking at him, but like literally every week I've seen him do some stuff that he hasn't done yet. You know, sometimes even in the games, like when he make a good throw, I'm like, oh my god! Like I so good. Like it's like, dang, that's nice. Like he can do that too. It's crazy.
That's amazing, man. Well, it's crazy what you guys are doing. It's so much fun. Our guy Eddie Royal on the set has been just jubilated and excited to see it, and we are too, man. A massive game this weekend, so good luck and excited to see what you guys do the rest of the way.
Thanks again to APR for joining us. What a monster. And this is another example of Virginia Tech. I mean, the two Hokies that we've had on this year, Mac, are both from the transfer portal, from other Power 5 schools that maybe weren't getting the time, weren't being used the way they wanted at those different schools. Brent Pry goes out and gets them, and they're thriving at Virginia Tech with Kyron Drones and now APR. Mac, he has been a monster, and they're going to need him to continue to be a monster in this game at Louisville on Saturday.
No, there's no question about it, especially when you have an offense as explosive as Louisville's and going to want to take shots Can't give them time. You got to get back there and really force the issue. I am fascinated to see how Virginia Tech is going to attack these guys because, again, very balanced offensively. And are they going to try to force the issue, take away the run, force them to pass? Then, of course, you can get your pass rushers involved. But APR is super impressive. I mean, I love talking to that dude and, just kind of hearing his mindset and how he approaches the game and really just the confidence. I mean, you asked a great question about, would you expect this? And he was like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really react to it because this is what I do. And, I think that was really cool to see. Obviously, he has been an unbelievable just piece for this Hokie defense. And I remember early when we were there for week 1, KG, I saw this guy and I'm like, who the heck is this? Like, this is a really good looking pass rusher. And then, kind of did his thing and really just exploded, for a couple of sacks that game. I'm just like, okay, watch out for this guy. Then disappeared a little bit, like still made plays. But these last 2 weeks, he's been on a mission and has absolutely taken it to another level. So excited to see him to continue to grow in this defense and just continue to be a leader and talk that talk when he's out on the field. But there's no question that the Hokies need to be ready because this is going to be a massive matchup. Louisville, a different team at home, the way that they play and in the level at which they play. So they've got to be ready for that.
For sure. And Mac, before we get a little more into this game, I think what you're seeing from drones and from APR is going to be huge for Virginia Tech as they continue to try to use the portal. I know they want to recruit homegrown talent. They want to get into that, Virginia area, the wherever, Hampton area, Newport News, whatever. But this is massive. And this is what FSU kind of did, where they went and got a Jermaine Johnson, a guy who wasn't playing much at Georgia. And now, he's a first-round pick. Can Virginia Tech do this? I think this is a great example they can use on the recruiting trail to get more guys in the portal. What they've done with drones, what they've done with APR and some other pieces, this is going to be really good. And you could tell how much he liked playing for a defensive-minded head coach.
Oh, yeah.
So if they can continue to bring in some of these werewolves defensively, that's where I think Virginia Tech's identity is going to continue to really build.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. And then it's just, you kind of have that resume of see what happens when you come here, see what we're going to do, see what this defense allows you to do, just the aggressive nature of it. And really, defensive coordinator, Coach Marv there is really coming into his own as well. I mean, this is his first year calling the plays and Coach, kind of took his hands off of it and said, go to work. Let's see what you got. And I think that he's really coming into his own, but particularly the offense. I mean, and Kyron Drones, I mean, that guy, the growth that we have seen from him, once he fully became the starter to where he is now, the confidence that he has, KG. I mean, that I think that was peak of where they've been so far, obviously, against Syracuse there. So how do you take next steps? Score touchdowns in the red zone. Can't be kicking a bunch of field goals, especially to beat this Louisville team. And their defense is salty and nasty too. They're going to try to get after you.
They're coming off a shutout against Duke. Louisville has a lot more to lose in this game. I think that could be a factor. It's a 3:30 on ACC Network. Louisville 7-1, trying to play for, if FSU makes the playoff, could Louisville's right now in that spot to get in the Orange Bowl, which would be huge for them and for that program. I think the big key here, Mac, and tell me why you wouldn't do this, right? Stack the box. Try to do everything you possibly can to take away Jawar Jordan, who I think is the most valuable player. I'm not sure if he's the player of the year because Jordan Travis is going to have something to say, but he is the most valuable player to his team in the ACC and force Louisville to throw it. I know Jamari Thrash is a weapon and Plummer has shown he can do it, but also he throws some picks. So Plummer is a little turnover prone at times. I know it's not that easy, but why wouldn't you, if you're a defense, say, I'm going to do everything I can to take away the run?
Sometimes that can eclipse into a quick death very quickly, where they're throwing it all over the yard.
What's the alternative? Let Jawar Jordan go rush for 150 like he always does?
I think you have to mix it up. I do agree. Okay. Like a team like Duke, who right now is playing with a hand behind their back, everything you just said, yes. Dare them to throw the football. Quite frankly, a team like Clemson, dare them to throw the football. Louisville has proven it that they can. So you have to be – I think there's times where you do that, where you try to attack and you load up the box. But like situationally, it can't be all – you can't just sell out to it because they will – I mean, they'll kill you on the outside. And if one-on-one you miss – Yeah, no. You got to mix it up there, and they will. I mean, they have a great defense, and at the end of the day, I think the key is do not let Louisville just get out quick in a hurry like they did against Duke. 14 points in a blink of an eye. Really felt like their offense could do whatever they want. So it'll be interesting. I mean, it's going to be a great chess match because you're going against a guy in Jeff Brom who is an absolute scientist with the things that he does and the kind of formula that he has for this team and their balanced approach. So I can't wait. I mean, this is a massive game, elimination game. We'll go into more depth, I know, on Friday, but loser of this game's out, and winner keeps going and looks really good and is playing in Charlotte against the Noles probably.
I'm saying make someone else beat me. Make someone else beat me. And I do worry for Virginia Tech against a star running back. They gave up 200 yards to Trey Benson down in Tallahassee. But here, last question for you, Matt. The spread here is 9.5. Louisville's favored by 9.5. I'm leaning Virginia Tech to cover, but I keep betting against Louisville, and that's my problem. Jawar Jordan has 824 yards so far this year. Does he reach 1,000 in this game?
What's that quick math? Like 175?
You need 176.
No. His career high is 163. I don't think he does that back-to-back.
Okay.
And I think similar to what you said, I'm not saying they're doing all of that, but I do think stopping the run is going to be key because exactly what you said in that FSU game, you have to attack that guy. You have to be ready and willing and not miss tackles. Listen, Jawar Jordan isn't the biggest guy in the world, but he might be the fastest. He might be the fastest. So you got to gang tackle. You got to wrap up, try to get that guy on the ground. It is going to be interesting to see that style of play because they can be physical on the outside and try to throw off timing, and then you get your great defensive lineman back there in the backfield. So I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're
ready. And I know Louisville fans are ready because their men's basketball team is still very much struggling. Their women's team, of course, is still great and has made 5 straight Elite Eights. So I know they'll be supporting them, but probably want to think about football this weekend. And so I think Louisville fans will show up, Mac.
Get locked in. I hope so. Crazy. This game's not a night game. We're not there.
I know.
Unbelievable. Whatever. Hey, do what you got to do. Thank you guys for tuning in. Great episode. APR, the GOAT, man. It's been fun to watch him continue to develop and grow. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We also appreciate our friends over at Ingles for making all this possible. Couldn't do it without them, but we need your help, guys. You're watching. Hopefully you're watching. If you're not, get over to YouTube, subscribe, jump in the comments. Some of y'all left some funny comments on the scheduled release show. Yes. Of course,
welcome
the Monday.
To the Cal fan.
That's
that
right,
commented.
Cal. Woo! We got a Cal fan in. We need to keep going west. Go west, young man. But we appreciate you guys over there. And, of course, the OGs on Apple Podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe. We would greatly appreciate that. But until next time, we'll see y'all.